know what section you waiting on, but
Hit it.
all right. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another episode of 44 Stat. My name is Kelsey Coop Charles. Along with me, I have Antonio Bruh Long, and our newest addition. We're gonna give him the Prince treatment. This gentleman goes by one name and is all he needs. I'd like to introduce you all today. Gentlemen, how y'all doing tonight?
Feeling good, feeling good.
Man, I'm good, bro.
Good. All
I'm
right.
good.
Got me feeling like Prince the Symbol or something,
Oh
man.
my God.
I'm telling you,
He went,
man, this is what we do. This is
he
what we
went to
do.
the Prince, bro. Oh, before we
Hey,
get
man.
started, let me go on and tell the brother, happy birthday, Coop.
Hey, I
Oh, happy
appreciate it. I
birthday, man.
appreciate it.
Hey,
Yes,
I
sir.
appreciate it. One more revolution around the
I
sun.
know,
I
man. It's a
appreciate it.
beautiful thing, bro. Beautiful
It's a
thing.
beautiful thing, man.
Yes,
Especially with
sir.
what
Yes,
we
Yeah.
dealing
sir.
with this year. Everybody, I'm telling you, man. I don't know if Jesus playing catch up or what, but being able to make another revolution around, man, I'm blessed, man. I'm
Right.
blessed.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh
All right,
yeah.
let's go on and
Now,
jump into it. College
all
game,
right, before we get
Gamecocks and
started, man, I'm
LSU.
gonna go ahead. I want to put something out here, man.
Go ahead.
You know, it's been a weekend up since we're gonna start with college, but I came to grips with a term this weekend, and it's some more foolishness, more shenanigans. But gridiron grievance, man, gridiron grievance is a real thing, man. I know you and Dave, y'all not feeling that right now, but both y'all teams are 2-0. And we'll get to that a little bit later on. Even Clemson started off bad, but for a lot of teams out there, man, a lot of fans out there, we're dealing with gridiron grievance. So, check on your less fortunate friends, man. If you get a chance. I just want to say that. But let's go ahead and get started.
Well, look here. I'll just say this here. I did hear from Skeet today, so I feel like he okay.
And
Okay,
in the group,
good.
and in the group chat with the poker, the poker folks,
Yeah.
Rick caught it this week. They the Cowboys
Oh
fans.
yeah.
Them two, they caught it bad. So there was no reaching across the aisle on this one, Kelsey. There was just a sledgehammer across.
Oh man, it's total destruction.
Look here. Look, I know he worried about me because he heard from me all weekend, so he know it coming.
All weekend. I know. That's why I had to put that out there, that disclaimer.
Okay. Well, as long as you brace for it, I hate to do it on your birthday, but you know it's coming.
Hey, it wouldn't be right if you didn't, man.
Okay. All right then. All right. So let's talk about the LSU South Carolina game. I asked y'all Saturday, probably about midway through the first quarter, did y'all want to come be my coordinators? Because I was gonna put in a resume for that job because Brian Kelly was gonna get fired if they wouldn't have won their football game. Okay. Absolutely no reason why they should have been 17 points down to the Gamecocks. No reason.
Their lapses in judgment, man. It's LSU just it's like they forget what's going on at times. Like, how a dog and they're doing something and they see a squirrel, and then they just go the other way. That's what LSU looks like from time. It's like squirrel, and then everything stopped, and they got to go that way. I don't want to say even undisciplined. It's distracted, and that to me is even worse than being undisciplined. Because how are you distracted with a full football game going on in front of you?
Well, the other part of it is, like we said last week, if this would have been a night game, it would have been worse. Just because I knew they were going to be hype. Game day was there. Why? Only because Kentucky had screwed up the week before because they were going to Kentucky, okay? But after they screwed up, they was like, nah, we gonna go to Carolina and LSU. And I'm telling you, if you haven't been around Williams-Brice even when they sorry, because I'm not even gonna say when they're good, but even when they sorry, they really support the Gamecocks. And
it's an amazing fan base, yes.
You knew it was gonna be, I hate that song. It gets on my nerves. It's worse than Rocket Top. I'll just tell you that right now. Sandstorm gets going and that whole crowd gets fired up or whatever. But LSU, you play in Tiger Stadium that night, bro. Y'all shouldn't have been intimidated by that stuff, man.
No.
Yeah, they just have, man, like I said, it looks like Brock. He doesn't. The team is just distracted. And then when they focus, they can be a very good team. And LSU is like you said, T, and that's all on the coach. That is all on the head coach.
Brian Kelly is by far one of the worst coaches in college football, and there was a lot of people that were online Saturday that were saying the same thing. Now I will say the team is not as talented as it has been offensively. I think they found a running back with the little freshman. But defensively, this is not LSU football, y'all. And
no, they give up too many big plays. I mean,
too
running
many big
plays. I mean,
plays,
just
no
right up the
pass
A gap.
rush, no nothing.
Yeah.
Y'all, we equate LSU defense just like Clemson defense. It should be attacking and and playing, like I always say, like they mad with their mama, because it's just the way they go about it, and it's not there anymore because there was zero fear by the Gamecocks on Saturday,
None.
and it should have been. In reality, it should have been. They should have been afraid of that. And LSU, they pulled it out. Some people, now the big thing around here in South Carolina is everybody crying about the referees. But again, the Gamecocks did it to themselves. Untimely penalties, which what cost them, and then not having an adequate backup quarterback once Sellers went down, that completely destroyed them at that point.
Yeah. And they look like the distracted ones in the comeback in the latter part of the second half. And like you said, not prepared with a backup quarterback. And it looked like they were waiting for LSU to come back. That's another thing I saw in their face. Like they were shocked they were up so big. And so it's kind of when you wait for that hammer to drop, it dropped. And when it dropped, they look like, oh, okay, the inevitable is about to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, because even with the field goal at the end, I mean, yeah, it's just mental.
Well,
they got in their heads, and
so he went to Spring Valley. That's why he missed that.
Well, that
that's why he missed that field goal, Kelsey.
I'm never going to be happy about a Spring Valley player. I'll just tell you that right now. In all reality, though, they played scared at the end because my thing should have been you had an opportunity to go down that field. You needed a field goal and whatever, but at the same time, I would have took the opportunity. You got the ball back with a minute and I want to say 12. You had enough time to try to get at least a little closer. You got a first-time kicker. You trying to kick 49 yards. You know for yourself that ain't automatic anyway. And you're not going to tell me you couldn't have ran a play that probably would have gave LSU problems, because LSU automatically the first two plays on that, they gave you the middle of the field. All you had to do was get it in the middle. The clock was going to stop until the chains got set. You could have worked that. But then again, they were just, what Carolina always does. We just happen to be in the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And to your point is personnel. I mean, like you said, once Sellers went out, the whole dynamic of the game changed. So, I mean, like you all said earlier, the inevitable was going to happen because they were just, I guess, they kept putting a Band-Aid on an open wound that needed stitches. So, I mean, best way to put it.
Well, when you severely reduce your offense, once your number one goes down and they already know that boy can't throw, I mean, you played right. Now, you were still able to run the football, and they were loading up the box. So that should have told you right there, you had the formula, what you need, you had it. But again, if you grew up in South Carolina, you understand the Gamecocks cannot sustain prosperity in football. Now, they can do it in other sports, but in football, they cannot sustain prosperity.
Except for girls basketball. What? Not men's basketball.
What else? It was baseball for a minute.
Well, the girls are the only ones that can overcome adversity. The girls have proven they can overcome adversity. I already knew once Sellers went down, I said, oh, the game over, because they didn't have no other way. And even with Sellers playing as outstanding as he was still making mistakes. So you kind of felt like a pick six was going to do him in. But what ended up doing him in, he fumbles the ball, and LSU was right back in the game.
One thing I'm going to give, this hurts my heart, I'm going to give South Carolina credit for. what I believe they can do to the lower tier teams in the SEC, because the defense and those two linemen they have, I don't know their names.
Tucker Hemingway and Stewart and the boy they got from Georgia Tech this year.
Okay, cool. And they seem to get pressure in the backfield on
Kennard.
The ball.
That's his name, Kennard.
Okay, Kennard. Yeah. So they seem to get pressure in the backfield and on the ball. And from what I saw from the Kentucky game, which was they shouldn't have won, and hanging in there with LSU, and I consider LSU, if they play like this, one of those lower tier, kind of teams right there. I see South Carolina having a decent. What is their schedule? Do they play any of the big boys?
Yeah, they got two of them back to back. They got Ole Miss and Alabama back to back in October. Well, 3 in a row, because they get Oklahoma after that too. And you already know how Brent Venables already how he's done him over the years. So
hey, and on another thing that showed me, well, we're not on the Kentucky Georgia game, but when we get there, I want to say something about that with Venables.
Well, we'll go right on into the Kentucky Georgia game, because Gamecocks play Akron this week. Ain't no need to hang on that too much. They'll get that should be a win. Gamecocks they get Ole Miss the first week of October, so that's where we'll go after that.
When the Kentucky game, Georgia, another thing that we missed, Kentucky splits the hell out of Georgia, and he was uncomfortable back there in the backfield. And I can't remember, watch the game, the whole game. I don't remember us blitzing like that.
We did.
Like, all we relied on was the front four. And what I noticed with Kentucky, when they brought pressure, he turned into the back that I thought we would get, but we got no pressure on him like Kentucky got on him with those blitzes.
Well, I think we took for granted our front four was so good, because in the first half, front four had the game totally shut down.
Pretty much, yeah. They didn't adjust in the second.
Again, like I said, halftime adjustments didn't come into play. So that's what did us in. But Stoops knows what to do with Georgia. Biggest thing I felt like with Stoops was Kentucky's offense was so basic. And I know it was pound, 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 pound. But at some point, you're going to get behind the sticks and you got to make a pass play, and you have absolutely nothing to throw to. First of all, you got nobody to throw the ball, but then you have absolutely nobody to throw to.
Yeah. And they're the tier below, because if you look at it, the way their offense is, their defense can hold. I consider them, now that games are played and not on paper, they're right there with South Carolina in that tier. Kentucky is, because of
yeah.
Remember the Kentucky we got in the bowl game was you actually were firing on all cylinders on offense. This one, like I said, they're right there with the South Carolina team. To me, that Kentucky team, they're not what I thought they were going to be.
Well, the bottom half of the league, they're gonna be fighting it out to more than likely if they go to beautiful downtown Birmingham for the Papa John's Bowl or something like that. It's not going to be anything significant. That's life in the SEC though. I mean, they're not going to get above, every now and again, probably every third or fourth year, they may rise up to get in the top 6, but it ain't going to be consistent. And, Kentucky's had their run for a little while now. Now that the portal's open, their better players is going to leave. They're going to go somewhere every opportunity. And that brings us to where we are with Florida. Florida is probably the last place team in the SEC. Vanderbilt's probably better than them right now.
That could change next week. This coming week, they got Florida State, right?
No, that's they got what's called this week.
Oh no, Mississippi.
They got Mississippi State this week.
I'm thinking something else. Yeah.
Oh, that volleyball tonight. They playing each other tonight.
Yeah, I'm thinking something else.
Yeah. They play Mississippi State this week. If he loses that game, Billy's probably fired Sunday. Because Mississippi State is awful.
They won't give him the full season?
Mississippi State is awful. Right now, the state of football in the state of Florida, every place other than Tallahassee and Gainesville, everybody happy. Okay? The Canes are back to being the Canes. The Gators are A&M is not prolific in offense, but A&M manhandled Florida on Saturday, and that wasn't even cute.
Yeah.
So it's going to be difficult for Billy to survive. His cross-state partner ain't going to survive too much longer if he stick with DJ.
Well, I saw that. I saw they are actually reaching back out to Jimbo.
Oh God, no! Oh
yeah,
God, no!
That was in FTW today for the win. It's an article that they are maybe in the process of reaching back around to Jimbo. So stay tuned.
Oh God, no! Oh, that. I'm gonna say it like this here about Florida State. Florida State, you get what you deserve because you cried and moaned last year when you didn't go to the playoff. You didn't deserve it. We already know that. Because you barely, even though you were ACC champion or whatever, you barely got past us. You barely got past Wake Forest last year.
There's a lot of luck in
if
there.
Louisville had anything look like a quarterback, you would have lost in the ACC championship game. Then the other part of it is you got to remember, and we've said this a couple of weeks ago, the lawsuit aggravates everybody. Now, don't get me wrong. Clemson is part of this lawsuit, but Clemson's not making the noise that you have made. Clemson's not demanding we need this, we need that. Clemson is just part of the suit just to see can they get out. Clemson should be more than happy to stay where they are right now with no problem.
Yeah, right now.
With no problem. The thing is, Florida State was the one that pitched the fit and pitched the hissy. And you got to understand the rest of the conference is looking at you like, wait a minute, y'all ain't been good since Coach Bowden left. Sustained good. You had that 1 year with Jimbo, but Jimbo, we've already exposed Jimbo ain't no coach. We already know that. That's why he ain't at A&M. So, you getting what you deserve. Getting what you deserve. All right, so last thing around college, is Texas number one, y'all?
Yes, for me, for now.
Based on what I saw last week,
yeah. I'm with you. They are number one for now.
I tell you what,
but that goes right into my power ranking state, and I brought up last week is the state of college football. That's why Clemson is. Clemson is going to shoot so far up here soon. It's going to be crazy.
Well,
just because college football outside of Texas, Miami, and Alabama, I don't know. They might be letting them figure it out again during the season because that's what Saban did. He figured out that team during the season, and they look way better than what I thought they were.
Well, this week
drop off for the rest, and also I am going to pencil in Ole Miss as the big upset because he's been waiting for this for his whole life.
To who?
I'm just saying, I am very interested in without a Nick Saban, because all he ever wants to do is beat Alabama. I am very interested to see without Nick Saban, does he get his wish that he's been wanting since he started, and that is to beat Alabama.
I don't see it just because now the scores have been impressive, but he ain't played nobody yet.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, Lane is gonna do what Lane do. 9-3, 8-4. I don't see him being much higher than that.
This is the thing. I would see that every year except for this year. This year, that conference is so two-team heavy. When you had no, my bad, because I forgot about the whole bringing together thing. When you in Oklahoma still, because they'll go on that 2-3 game losing streak as well. So I'm just seeing Lane Kiffin might finally get his wish.
Okay. That game is I think that game is like mid-October, I believe. When they play Bama. But just looking at what this week is going to be a tell-all week for the teams in the ACC and the SEC. The big game at 12 o'clock for Clemson is against North Carolina State. I'm
a little worried about that one though.
Should be a whooping.
That starting quarterback is out, Kelsey.
State
quarterback is out.
State down quarterback, and they down one of their best defenders. This game gonna be ugly. Plus, I watched State
attack it right way.
I watched State against Tennessee.
Cal, yep. And I also want to add too, but even if they play, I think this is a beat down game. Even if those, because they're not that good, even with them.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So we just need to go in and handle business.
That's
It needs
it.
to be at State Part 2. Don't
Yeah.
take anything for granted.
Yeah, he needs to do them the way they did them. I want to say the year after they won the championship and they came down to Clemson and he stomped them.
Yep.
I think it was like 60-something to nothing.
Actually, Dabble needs to do that for everything going forward.
I got them at least scoring 40 in this game.
I
got them at least scoring 40 in this game.
Because I'm gonna tell you why he needs this game. He needs this game because the Florida State game ain't important no more. So he needs to beat the snot out of State. And when they play Georgia Tech, when they need to play Tech this week, I mean in a couple of weeks or whatever, they need to beat the snot out of them too, just so everybody understand, because the ACC needs Miami to play Clemson in the championship game.
Yes.
That is the must. But I'm gonna tell you who else I watched over the weekend. California, you might want to watch them.
Hey, because I get to see their game. Hey, Cal,
set up.
They are holding our conference down, y'all.
I sat up and watched them the other night because I said, let me see what they got, because I know they're coming up on the schedule. And I'm like, they might be a problem.
Yeah.
They the best team coming off that west side. I put it like that. And this week coming up, this could get Mike Norvell fired, because if Cal comes in to Tallahassee this week and they beat the snot out of Florida State, he ain't gonna make it past Sunday.
And this is the thing with Cal. They're gonna actually, I think Cal might beat them, but Cal, they're not gonna beat, because it's gonna be that, not that, not what was the coach? He was Aaron Rodgers' coach back with when they had that little run going. You remember Cal had, and the coach was like a quarterback whisperer.
Yeah. I know you're talking about.
They would score, and Marshawn Lynch and them. They would score big time points during that little phase right there. But now they are more, because they get a lot of recruits from up here in Washington, from the two high schools, from Bellevue and Skyline, and they get all of those big offensive linemen. And what they like to do is just pound, but it's a Cal Berkeley pound, meaning it's all drawn out with the X's and O's, like Iowa. You got that kind of blood.
I put it like this: they're playing more like Stanford used to play than Stanford.
That's it. Yep. There you go. That's it.
Yeah. They are physical and they got strong defense, and they might put a hurting on Florida State this week, and that will get him fired, because it's Cal. Honestly, the other big games for the week, you get Florida and Mississippi State. Again, this is a game. If Billy loses to Mississippi State is terrible. If he loses this game, there's no saving him. No saving him at all. Kelsey, your classmate at Clemson, brings his Virginia Cavaliers down here to the beautiful sunny beaches of Conway, South Carolina. Play Coastal Carolina. He might lose this game. I'm just gonna be real. He might lose this game on the Tia turf down in Coastal. Okay. The other big game on Saturday is the Trojans make their first trip to the big house as a member of the Big Ten. This ought to be exciting. If the Trojans go into Michigan, Sherrod is going to get fired. He won't last a year, because it already looks stank. Okay, I'm just going to be real. He's going to get fired. Somebody got to take the fall for the cheating scandal last year. The Trojans come in there and embarrass them. He won't last.
USC is a tier above Michigan. They will win that game. Now, if it's the win or if it's a blowout that determines, whether he loses, because I think if he those two losses right there, he'll be under the microscope. But also, Michigan got to be careful on what they're doing, because there's a lot of hush hush within the whole deal of this thing. Like, he might take a fall, but there's a lot of fall guys. So I think he knows stuff. What I'm saying is, the reason why he may not get fired and may get another year leash is, one, all the talent. It reminds me of when Peterson left Washington. He took Washington to the playoffs. Remember, they lost to Alabama. Then they gave it to Jimmy Lake, but he gave it to Jimmy Lake with no damn talent. Everything was gone. And then Jimmy, whatever, he got fired. And then the whole system changed to NIL. But this is a lot, kind of nearing some of that to me.
I've been a Michigan fan just as long as I've been a Clemson fan. I will say this about Michigan. There's no excuses because as long as Ohio State is winning, the Michigan people don't care. Okay.
Do you think the scandal is deeper and that he gets along? Because if he's made the scapegoat and old boy left for the NFL, that's just a lot to be going on. And then you got him fired after a year.
Bruh.
Yeah.
He still got
signal caller is somewhere else doing something that stole the signals. There's a lot going on with that.
There's still people on that staff that worked last year. You clean house completely because you don't know what the NCAA is truly going to do. Now, I don't think they're going to take the championship, but at the same time, it's going to be a high level of scrutiny on this here. And especially just from the standpoint, they look real sluggish as a team already. And you talking about this is a major game. This is the Trojans, okay? Ohio State, and I love the way that they did the schedules because Michigan gets the Trojans, Ohio State gets Oregon. So if the two newcomers come in and spank both of them, there's a changing of the guard in the Big Ten at that point.
Yeah, USC is. Oregon is waiting to lose. They are in a spot.
Well, I think they finally came out of it Saturday when they beat Oregon State because I did look at a little bit of that. They looked better.
Yeah, they did look better, but that was close game for a while, man. Then, like you said, they did pull away. Just talent level wise. I'm just USC to me right now. I don't know if it's a changing of the guard wholesale, but for this year, they are a tier above Ohio State and Michigan to me.
Okay. All right. So the other big game, this is first time meeting. You get Utah and Oklahoma State. Utah is going to Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State, you have not seen beatdowns like Utah can hand out.
Yes.
That Big 12 offense don't mean nothing to them because them boys don't mind hurting you. Okay. Yeah. They are hard-nosed. I picked Utah to win the 12 anyway because I just think they just the strongest team in the 12. And if you playing old school Big 12 type football where you're trying to run up the score, you won't do that to Utah. You will not score 40 on Utah. I can promise you that. This game got 24-17 wrote all over.
And all Okie State, Melvin Gordon has to get off early. If he doesn't get off early, that game might look like I said, that game is going to look really bad if Gordon doesn't get started early.
Well, that's what I'm looking for because they've never played anybody that physical.
No, yeah.
That physical, nobody. And then the game Saturday night is Tennessee versus Oklahoma. First conference game for Oklahoma. It's going to be interesting to see how Venables plays Oklahoma with their high speed, because they want to run a play every 20 seconds or so. But we also know that Venables has been able to contain those types of offenses before. So I want to see how it goes. Tennessee going out to Norman. Tennessee don't go that far west too often, and every time they go west, they normally get slaughtered. So
that's a pick 'em for me.
I think it is. But see, the thing about Oklahoma, their offense isn't as dynamic as it was last year because their quarterback is at Oregon.
Yeah, that is right.
Yep. So, and then the Gamecocks play Akron. If the Gamecocks don't score 50 on Akron, then we truly got a problem. Even if Robbie Ashford is the quarterback this week and Lenore's is not playing, if they don't score 50 on Akron, it's the same old Gamecocks. It's not going to change.
They should be able to run or just run and win that game. Just run the ball and win that game.
You should, but we already know they're not.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's move to the NFL. Let's go on and get this party started right now.
No, we're gonna start with the Buccaneers first, man. Baker Mayfield doing big things.
We're gonna start with America's team. We start with America's team. Kelsey, I intentionally waited till the night I did not call you on Sunday. I did not say anything, didn't text you, didn't do nothing. So you already know this been pinned up for 2 days.
I knew it was coming. And
Kelsey,
whatever
I did the
Stephen A.
same thing, man. I usually text on Sunday, but that was so bad. I just left you alone and like,
yeah, it I'll put it this way. I thought we had a little bit of help in the linebacker position with Kendricks, but I see now that we're still where we were before. I mean, feast of famine with our DBs, and they were on some famine stuff, big time. But there's enough blame to go around. I don't know what defense. I saw the numbers and I saw the letters and the names on the backs of the jerseys, but I don't know who that scrub team was. It was almost like well, back with what 89, 90 when they had the
Come on, man, you ain't got to go all the way back there.
Yeah, if you had people out there, man, I just don't know what happened to them. And then I got into this debate with another Cowboy fan. Even though the defense is bad, I'm gonna give the MVP early in the season to Aubrey because he's the only consistent on the whole team. But I will say this: the Saints did score, but the difference is Dallas went down too. But the problem is you trading field goals to touchdowns. That's a bad recipe. It's a bad formula. And then in crunch time, when you're needed, well, no, let me take that. Let me walk that back because there was no crunch time because the game was already out of hand.
Game was out of hand.
There was no coming back.
Yeah,
there was no coming back from that. So I mean,
game was out of hand first quarter.
Yeah, we'll bounce back. But I don't know.
Well,
the saving grace in all this is that the whole conference stinks. Because we'll talk about the game last night a little bit later on. So there's still hope. But as far as making a deep playoff run, no, that's not happening. But it was an eye opener because I'm gonna give the Saints 2 more games to figure out they're really for real. The Carolina Panthers, I mean, that was expected. Now I will say going into AT&T Stadium, the Dallas don't play nowhere else. They should play well. They normally play well at home, but here again, that's why I go back and say, Dak or pay him is fine, all well and good, but we got to have some money to put somebody else out. Well, I'm not even gonna say that. This is all over the place. I know I'm all over the place. As long as you got Jerry up top, we're not going anywhere. I'm gonna leave it at that. Go ahead.
The podcast is always, to me, missing in big games. Every time I want to look at Mr. Podcast never shows up in big games.
Yeah. And the part of that is he's the only thing that anybody's really halfway worried about on the team. If you contain him, game's over.
Well, I mean, Kelsey, now I'm gonna ask this question. Now I'm being serious here. Now I'm gonna ask this question. Let me get my serious face on. Do y'all think that beating Cleveland last week gave y'all a premature feeling of we've arrived because y'all beat Cleveland?
I'll put it like this. A lot of other Cowboys fans, maybe. But me, nope. Because I already knew. We got a lot of glaring things that we need to straighten up. And to me, our defense is, here again, feast of famine. They're all or nothing. Kamara carved us. And then Derek Carr, who's I'm not even gonna say mid-tier. He took our lunch. I mean, he had our lunch, did whatever he wanted to do. I mean, I'm looking at the tape. Lack of effort on defense. I mean, it was supposed to be 22 men on the field. I believe it was 45 because Dallas had about 22 players on defense. And Commander walked down the middle of that touchdown. I mean, and then around the corner, nobody pursued it. Like they gave up on the play.
But you know what?
It was sad to watch.
We've been going at this for some years, okay? And truly, I always say, y'all biggest issue is if you play a team that can run the football, they can destroy y'all because y'all are not built. Y'all are not built to play the run. Y'all are built to get the lead. Y'all are like the old Colts with Dwight Freeman deal. Y'all built to get the lead and then let the pass rush take over at that point because that's not. But if a team can run the football on y'all and Kamara showed out,
it's a long day.
Y'all were playing two-hand touch out there because y'all wasn't playing tackle.
That's it. No, not at all. I agree.
And then Mr. Podcast, as Dave called him, he just need to shut up.
Yeah, man.
He just need to shut up. I mean, bruh, you know, he acts like now. I have one of the premier defensive players in the league on my defense. Okay, how often you didn't heard that brother talk?
He doesn't.
He don't. He just go out there and play football, man. Okay,
that's it.
Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett, one of the most vicious defensive ends out there.
Mm-hmm.
You don't never hear anything from him.
No.
He just go play
but that's
football.
Dallas, though. That's in Dallas. I mean, I don't know why or what that is, but I mean,
y'all do more talking. Y'all do more talking than anything, and I don't understand why. Because you ain't won nothing in 30 years. But either your players are doing it, your fans definitely do it. Because my brother do it every year, you know. It is and then like he tried to throw at me the other day. Well, you know you were watching the game. I said, yeah, I'm watching the game because y'all on TV.
But that's the problem, though. That is the problem.
Yeah.
As long as Jerry's filling those seats and people are watching and talking about it, whether it's good or bad, if people stop talking about the Cowboys, Jerry will do something about it.
And it's the media too as well. The media leads. I woke up Monday morning. The media leads with what's wrong with the Cowboys, not the other game
all the time
or the better team. The media leads with, and I'm like you said, they haven't won in 30 years or whatever. But the first thing the media is leading with is what's wrong.
What's wrong with the Cowboys?
You know, not these other teams that won. Is what's wrong with the Cowboys?
Exactly. And
because I mean, they the glamour franchise of the NFL. You know what I mean? It's the star
of all the sports.
That's the problem. It's all the sports. You know, it's the quarterback, it's the owner, it's the defensive end, it's all of these things. And then I'm now I do my best. I think I'm better than Stephen A. when it comes to Cowboy hate. You know, Stephen A.
Yeah. I'm gonna give you your props. I'm gonna give you props.
Yeah, I'm better than Stephen A. when it comes to Cowboy hate. And see, I already let y'all know that y'all gonna win your games, do like y'all always do. But come January, and I said that like we said in South Carolina, January.
When it counts.
When January come, y'all gonna find some kind of way to screw it up. I already know that.
Yeah.
Because it never fails. It never fails.
Yeah. You know, the thing is, with the way that the NFC East, I kind of thought the Cowboys would be, because I kind of thought that we'll get to Philadelphia here in a second. I thought the Cowboys, if they could hold it, could actually go with that division this year. But not only that division, Kelsey brought up a good thing, the conference.
Yeah.
The conference is
the conference is weak.
Yeah, and it's the ones that I thought were going to be a kind of, so it is very interesting what path the NFC goes, you know, as we continue, because it's interesting in some of the things that I thought, and then some injuries as well, that it's not going how I thought. I'll let you talk about the Steelers because it goes back to the Bucks and I thought it would be the Bucks and the Falcons. It's back to the old Bucks and the Saints. And it's going to be the showdown for the division in the South. And I thought, you know, when we talked on the first one, you know, I was like Atlanta holding them off for another year. But, you know, with even the way Atlanta played, I mean, they won, but it's drop pass type of deal. It's down again back to the Saints and the Bucks to me for that NFC South.
Well,
so let me ask this question. You know, normally we'll see a week like week 2, probably about week 9 or week 10. Can we put any stock in what we saw this week? I know we got some key injuries. You know, you look at not the Falcons, but you look at the 49ers. McCaffrey's out, and Debo's going to be out for a while. You look at Green Bay, Love's out. You look at the Vikings, it's pretty much a new team. You still got a key piece, Justin Jefferson there. You look at Miami, Tua is going to be out for the foreseeable future. The Browns are the Browns. The Cowboys are the Cowboys. You know, even with the Eagles, though, A.J. Brown, the X, I would call him the X, even though probably next year Devontae would probably be the X. He's out. You know, you got a lot of injuries early on. I don't know what's going on with the Swifties
Kansas City. Players out.
Yeah.
They're out for 3 or 4 games. Sprained MCL.
Yeah.
He left. He left during the second quarter of that game.
Who's that? Say it again one more time. I'm sorry.
Vita Vea for the Bucks.
Yeah.
He was out starting the second quarter, and it was diagnosed with an MCL strain. It's going to be 3 to 4 games.
So he's like the heartbeat of that team. So yeah, that'll be interesting to watch that going forward.
Well,
but I mean, even with that though, you got some key players still in place. You know, Baker's gonna do what Baker's gonna do as long as the offense stays. You know, Godwin and Evans, as long as they stay there, they're gonna be okay.
Now,
but you know,
I'm pleasantly surprised with the Bucks, just from the standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Todd Bowles has been known to screw up stuff. Okay,
but T, remember what I told you. I said that too until last year, and I will say I gotta when you mess up, if I cite it, I also gotta cite when I see a turnaround.
Yeah, and they figured it out.
Like I said at the end of last year, should have been coach of the year with the stuff that he did. I think we all talked about what he did and win a playoff game. They didn't just go to the playoffs. They did better because I got to listen to the Cowboys stuff all the time too, right? Like I told you, I got those Applebee's for them telling them I feel, they feel sorry for me for being a Bucks fan. I happened to be there while we still had to get on Skeet's ass about that. But on the Bucks, the game that doesn't shock me. The Commanders' victory we should have won. The second I told you guys last week, I felt very good about that game because the game was close in the playoffs last year. They won by a touchdown. And pretty much if you looked at the game, the game was the same game pretty much, except we made an effort and stopped the run. So when Vea went out, they got this big 400-pound big dude that they just stuffed in there. And you wait and you bend and don't break and you let Goff. If Goff wins you the game, he wins you the game. But what Goff will inevitably do is he'll throw like the 2 interceptions. And it's a typical Tampa Bay defense since Tony Dungy. We'll let you get to the 20, but after the 20, there's going to be some issues. Now but there will be issues once you get there. And Detroit, for as good as they are, the Bucks to me are right there with them because it's 1-1 now. We went to the playoff game and lost in Detroit the second season. Man, when I looked at that game, they are on Dan Campbell's sack so hard. The camera is on him the whole time. But I'm like, okay, cool. You do you. And you get your redemption because the Bucks motto this year is why not us? Right? So you go to
that's a dangerous team.
Redemption zone. You get your ball off.
Yeah, that's a dangerous team. If you can win close games.
And I'm not saying they are a great team. I'm just saying the Bucks will be in every football game that they play this year just because of the way they play and the style of play and because of the weapons that can be at any given time and over the top.
Well,
God out on the cross.
The X factor for the Buccaneers is this.
I'm not saying we win the Super Bowl league. I'm just saying they look like a good team through the season.
If Baker, Baker does this because I've seen this when he was in college. I saw this when he was in Cleveland. He does this, he looks like, oh, Baker, is playing wonderful football. It's gonna come a Sunday where he's gonna screw it up. And
but see, the good thing about that team, though, T, Baker can be there, but really he is a steward, meaning he's game managing that team. His spot is not to go out and mess. He is our Brad Johnson. Dude, if you just go out and do these things and don't turn the ball over, you will be in every football game.
Because I'm
not saying exactly but in that vein.
But this is the thing about Baker Mayfield, and this is what I know just because of the years he was in Cleveland and the year. When he feels like he has a chip on his shoulder, he plays better. But his biggest issue is he get cocky. And when he gets cocky, he's gonna mess up. And the more you got to feel like with them going, you're 2-0 right now. People's gonna start talking about you. You're gonna start getting, he's gonna start feeling himself. He's gonna screw up.
Nobody's gonna be talking about the Bucks. That's the other thing I love. Even with this, the beautiful thing about my Bucks, everybody else is on TV. Dallas losing, Pittsburgh winning. The Bucks are just nobody gives a damn about the Bucks in my.
But this is the thing though, Kelsey. When you play better teams, because y'all had, Detroit for as good as Detroit has been, Detroit still has some glaring things that stick out to you.
Yeah.
The biggest thing you try to shut down is the passing game. If you can shut down the Bucs passing game, they have no running game at all.
No.
So when you play teams like San Francisco, or when you play teams like maybe Green Bay, you know, if they shut down the passing game, how are you going to win? Because if you take the thought of, I'm gonna put this on Baker's shoulders, but I'm gonna keep Mike Evans from getting crazy. Don't let him have no crazy game. And you know Godwin's gonna be hurt at some point. Because
who's the tight end?
What's the dude?
Howard.
He from Iowa too.
Yeah.
He's another Iowa.
With Godwin hurt, McMillan, the rookie, is really stepping up. Well, and I want that dude is really Godwin actually, because he can play both. He can play, and he did it at UW. He can play the outside and he can play that slot.
But
so you actually having it. The Bucs did the first time I've ever seen him do it is what you say the Carolina Panthers don't do, is start thinking about replacements as you draft, right? And they were thinking along those lines with McMillan. Godwin, you're right. The dude's gone by game 5, game 6. It might show game 10, and then he's hurt. But I like how they're now drafting for those, like the dude who came in for Vail. He's another 400-pound dude. Of course, he ain't got all of that, but he takes up space. And if you run down that middle, you're going to run into something. So I just like how they're starting to think about those replacements. Like you said, that Carolina is not thinking about on that next, as they go forward, because the Bucs team is getting ready to pretty much be Levante David and all them. All those contracts are coming. That team in the next 2 years won't even look like that team that we see today.
And see, this is the thing. They got a home game this week against Denver. Shouldn't be a problem.
No, honestly. It's the Philly game.
Shouldn't even be a problem.
I wanted that Detroit game, and I'll wrap this up with the Bucs because of the hard schedule. We got to play Dallas. We got to go play Philly. We got to play San Francisco. You got to steal one of those, 1 to 2 of those, so you kind of stay right as you go into your conference, as you play your conference. So stealing one of those early actually kind of gives you a little bit of wiggle room because the schedule gets tougher as it goes on.
Well, this is what I'm going to say about don't put too much stock in the 49ers right yet, because let me tell you why. The injuries are mounting, but also the 49ers, now I saw this stat Sunday, they lost to the Vikings, and the Vikings have beaten them like 9 out of the last 10 times they done played. So the Vikings know how to beat them, but then at the same time, why are you struggling with Sam Darnold and the Vikings?
Sam Darnold
and the Vikings now. This is not Tommy Kramer. This is not Randall Cunningham. This ain't Dante Culpepper. This is Sam Darnold and the Vikings. And all you got is Justin Jefferson, and he put on a show Sunday. But you still the 49ers now. You still the 49ers. Joey Bosa, nowhere to be found. He's another Michael Parsons. You don't never see him.
Boy, he's hurt.
Certain days, he shows up. Then certain days you can't find him. You know what I'm saying? The 49ers should win the West, but I'm gonna tell you what I see coming, because injuries are starting to mount. The Rams are just like them. They have a bunch of injuries, offensively and defensively. The little midget playing for the Cardinals can keep them in games. The midget, all he do is run around. He play backyard football, but it works. And then Seattle quietly has stayed relevant. So you might want to watch the West, because it might be a dogfight over there in the West just to get to the playoffs, because 10, 11 wins will get you in.
But here's the question: how many? I had looked at schedule. How many conference games does San Francisco have in the next 3-4 weeks?
It should be rounded not into it by then, though, right? I don't
know. Not really, because Sunday they got
that's gonna set the tone.
Okay, their first game is against the Rams. Both of them, everybody hurt.
So they should handle business there.
Well, this is the thing. Again, everybody hurt, because you got McCaffrey out, you got Debo out for the 49ers. Then you got Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp probably going to be out for the Rams.
Both of Yeah.
So
But they got a bye week this week, right? Or they
no, ain't nobody on buys yet. Don't nobody be on buys till the first week of October.
week 6?
Yep.
All right, so let's see.
So they got the Rams Sunday.
Yep, the New England, then Arizona and Seattle, back to back, October 6th and 10th.
And then they got the Chiefs.
Two conference games.
That's a rough stretch there, Kelsey.
That whole four, that five, and then they have a hard schedule. They go and play what? The Patriots, who is not a knockoff right now.
Oh no.
He has them playing sound.
They playing football.
Yep.
This is kind of tough,
Cowboys
Kelsey.
and Bucks. And then you get the Seahawks again with the Packers and Bills after that.
Yeah.
This is a pretty rough schedule.
That's a tough schedule.
Yeah, and then you got my homeboy.
Yeah.
And then Dallas.
Yeah, this is a rough schedule, Kelsey.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just looking at it from that standpoint, like I say, with everybody being hurt so early in the year, 10 wins might win the division, 11 at the most. I don't see nobody going 13-4 or anything like that because the schedule too hard for them. You look at where the East is, it's going to be a dog fight between the Eagles and y'all. The Eagles I'm just going to go on and say it. Eagles need their ass whooped for losing that game last night. I mean,
yeah,
that was.
But that's classic Saquon though. I hate to say it like that, but that's classic Saquon.
No, I'm not going to put that. I put that on their coach, man, because that was just dumb play calling. They ain't got no time out.
That's true. But I mean, we always look at the end of the game, but there's a lot of stuff that's going on early on in the game too. They should have capitalized on, but I still say,
man, that is a routine catch out the backfield. Now, I agree with you, team. No timeouts. You could have called a different play, but that is a routine. You gotta be able to catch nobody, or you gotta catch that ball, man.
Look,
you field goal, game over.
You all have
because we fire coaches a lot for a lot of stuff. But this comes down to a dude who's an all world, and the dude just all he had to do was squeeze the ball.
Well, not only that, I know it was 4th down and 3, but you could have ran and still had the same effect because you would have worked the clock all the way down, and you would have been. They would have had to go. I think they were down about the 15 because they ended up kicking the field goal. That was a bad move. Because even if you went on 3rd and 4th down and you didn't get it, they still got to go down the other side of the field to win. So you put it on the defense, but at the same time, this is what the Eagles do, though. And we've seen it too often with Sirianni. They lose these type of games. That game, honestly, should have been over with last night when you had a 17-play drive and you lost the game because you didn't manage your clock. And that was just ridiculous. And that comes from you gotta. That's why Mahomes don't lose on Sunday. They don't do nothing to put themselves in no bad situation. They don't do dumb stuff, man. And that's the mark of a good team. You already know your secondary is suspect. It was suspect last year. But you go out there and Kirk Cousins went straight down the field on him. And it's like
he's a statue. He can't even move.
He can't move. He went straight down the field on him. And then the play that they scored with Drake London, bruh, what was the corner doing? He wasn't going inside.
He got lost in the sauce.
Yep.
You already know that.
Kelsey, if you got 4 wide, your inside man went inside. He didn't even do a fake. All he did was make the out cut.
Yeah.
Why is you jumping inside? He wasn't going inside. Your leverage is to the outside. So that was an easy throw. And I'm like, what are y'all doing?
Points. They tried to get the game away. That's what I can think of.
They gave it away. And let me just be real about this here because we're talking about the NFC East. Okay. Giants, garbage. Don't even worry about them. They're a non-factor. Okay. If the Giants win 3 games this year, they've done a good job. Okay. They are non-factor. Okay. Here's the problem that's going to happen. The Commanders are gonna start smelling themselves after a while. Okay.
Mhm.
Cowboys already assing around. You already know that. Eagles, they gonna fumble around too. Okay. If the Commanders get to a point where they playing halfway decent, you know that's a toss-up game anytime y'all play each other.
Well, you know they're gonna cause a havoc in the conference anyway because they're gonna cause some problems.
Yeah.
They'll beat the Eagles and they're gonna give us a run for the money if they don't beat us.
Right.
They'll give us a run for the money.
Right.
The one thing that I'm we talk about injuries. I don't like how they're using for side, like he's just running a lot right now. And I don't know if that, I've seen that catch up with every quarterback, especially with just his frailness. He is one hit away from, and I'm not trying to wish injury on anyone. What I'm wishing is that they change some of the play calling, or he gets away from first read not there, drop my head and run. Because the NFL will wake you up quickly on that, especially with his slight frame. I didn't like Lamar, I didn't like Lamar losing that weight, not in the AFC North. You lose that weight if you're down in the South, but you need some girth when it gets cold, man. And I didn't like him coming in at 205. It gets cold. And I don't know if that, and you lose weight inevitably through the season. And so he started 205, but you're probably going to end up about 195 or so. And do you want that going into them dog days of winter? I know we say dog, but there's to be some dog, especially Baltimore, Pittsburgh, where you about to go play some games.
Well, I'll just go on record right now and just go on and say, the Ravens are who I already told you they was. I told you 2 weeks ago this is what they is.
Right.
Okay. All right. The Ravens are this. The Bengals are this. They are exactly what I told you. Don't bet on any sustained success. The Ravens are not the Ravens of Ray Lewis and Ed Reed. Okay?
No.
That is not.
No.
Those days are gone. Get that out your head. Okay? I heard somebody today talking about, well, what happened to the Ravens defense? Patrick Queen is playing in Pittsburgh.
That is true.
Okay? Raekwon Smith cannot do everything by himself, y'all. They don't have a defensive line. There's no T-subs on the defensive line, okay? Get that out of your head. The Ravens are what I've been telling you they have become. Remember, Isaac Newsom is not there making the draft picks anymore. You don't see the Ravens getting these no-name fellas that turn out to be superstars.
GM left?
I didn't know Newsom.
He's been gone for the last 3-4 years.
I thought they I left. I thought he went upstairs.
No, he retired. He
didn't go to president.
You gotta remember, Ozzy old, y'all. Ozzy is old.
I thought he had got him a president job up there over there.
He was president, but at the same time, like I say, the Ravens have turned into what I told you they were going to turn into. Okay, you got Derrick Henry, and I told you they wasn't gonna run him, just like I said, and they not running him. Okay, the Bengals only got up only because Jamar Chase then lost his mind because he want money. Okay. The Bengals only got up on the Chiefs because the dude know how to play the Chiefs. Now watch, they're gonna lose whoever they playing this week.
Who do they play?
They play the Commanders. They play the Commanders.
They'll beat them.
They should, but if they do, okay. But here's the thing: if they lose to the Commanders, though, Kelsey, that means they're 0-3. If the Ravens lose this week, because the Ravens are playing,
and they will, they play the Cowboys. They will
play the Cowboys. Okay. If the Steelers go to 3-0, guess what?
If y'all go to 3-0 and they start off 0-3, that's a big.
It's over.
That's too much for the line.
We got the Chargers.
I don't know if the wild card too. That's where it gets tricky. Maybe so. I thought with Tua gone now because I thought we Buffalo and what a division maybe Buffalo exactly. And I thought if Miami, the loser, the second place will get it, but with Tua out, that's all in the air now.
Miami's done. The Jets are gonna jet. Yeah. I already know that. Don't even worry about that. And who else in that division with them?
The Bills, the Jets,
missing somebody.
Patriots
gonna make it hard on everybody they play. Because you already see
The hard-nosed football.
So you look now. I don't look for the Patriots to win more than 6, maybe 7 games. Maybe I don't look for more.
They're playing with house money.
But everybody that they play, they're gonna play them tight. So you already know that's gonna be a problem. Okay. So in the South, okay, Jacksonville and already shot they were they done. They're done. It's Houston, and then I thought the Colts would have won last week, but you went into Green Bay and you messed that game up
without Jordan Love. Yeah, Anthony Richardson stack it up. Yeah,
the Texans defense Sunday night. Now I know the Bears offensive line is terrible.
Yeah,
but their defense is ferocious.
And that whole Caleb Love hype. I mean, not Caleb Love. Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams. Yeah.
That hype train, like I've said when we first started talking, I watched. And folks told me he ain't gonna be like that when he get to Chicago because it's different, and he's doing the same thing, doing too much. But he's trying to do too. Like the offensive line is bad, and they lose you 5 yards, like you get sacked. But he turns around and runs backwards 10 to 15 more yards to add to that. But he just looks awful right now.
He looks off because there was a time, Sunday night. He was in the shotgun. He literally, the ball got in his hand, and the nose guard was sitting in his lap when the ball got back.
Waiting on him. Yeah.
So that just let me know right there. The Bears' offensive line is terrible, and they gonna get that boy killed, boy. Because there was a couple of hits there Sunday night. I was like, oh Lord, boy, go down, do something, because that running around in college is fine. This here, no.
Yeah.
No, these boys here is out for blood.
Like one of the announcers said, in college, you're not getting caught from behind by a 300-pound dude.
No.
NFL, a 300-pound dude will run your tail down, and the rest is history.
Right.
That's the linebacker for the Saints, Larry Allen got it.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah. Well, here's the other thing. Okay, the Raiders have already showed they're gonna put up a fight. Might not win a lot of games, but they're gonna put up a fight. Chargers are going to put up a fight. So that's going to be a problem. Kansas City, you got to beat Mahomes. You got to kill the head of the snake. That's the only way it goes. Okay.
Well, not only that though, man, and you still got to deal with Andy Reid and Mahomes go down.
Right. But here's the other thing. Denver's not going to be a factor. Okay. So you can pretty much already see out of these teams that are 2-0 and 1-1, you already see how this thing's shaping up in the first place. Over there in the NFC with you all, like I say, y'all division, you already know what it's going to be. In the North, it's between Detroit and Green Bay. That's it. Okay. Minnesota.
Yeah.
I don't know how long they're going to sustain this, but if Minnesota's in the mix, that might be that. There go your 3 wild cards.
What's the quarterback? I haven't really been looking. Who is Minnesota's quarterback?
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Sam Darnold. Okay. Then in the South, again, Tampa Bay showing you something. The Falcons really should be 0-2. Shouldn't have won that game last night. They did look better. Bijan Robinson is a beast. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Yes, I'm gonna give them 3 more weeks to see what the true Falcons look like.
I want to see them play better because I'm telling you right now. Last night, Bijan Robinson showed everybody, man, that boy need his hand on the football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cause that's an easy 6 yards. Easy.
So you buying or selling the Saints? They for real or a fluke right now? They're playing above their head.
Well, you already know if you go to Superdome, it's hard to win in there. So that's number one.
That's true.
Number 2, can they sustain it? Saints defense, I don't think is that great. So
Kamara and
offensively,
yes.
Offensively, I think they're good, but defensively, I gotta see them do something else.
And do y'all notice when David Carr cocks back and throws the ball, his eyes it looks like it's closed, like he's just throwing the ball. Like I don't know if it's me, but I swear it looks like on a lot of them pass plays, he just cocks back and just throws.
Well, but you know what? I didn't understand why the Raiders was so in a hurry to get rid of him. Because I mean, it wasn't like he played bad. You know what I mean?
Right.
In comparison to what they could have had. You know what I'm saying? So it didn't make sense. So they're in a little bit better situation. But now I'm finna go off on the Panthers. It is absolutely ridiculous to sit this boy down. I understand he need to sit down because he's shell shocked right now. I have no problem with that. But let me just go in on this franchise, period. It is from the top to bottom a mess. The whole franchise. He's had 3 coaches in the last year. Not a year and a half, y'all. The last year. He's had 3 coaches. Okay. That's problem number 1. Problem number 2, he ain't playing with nothing. It'd be a different story if he had some players and you say, well, he ain't getting them the ball. He don't have nothing. He don't have a competent wide receiver, running back, tight end, anything.
You have no faith in trouble?
Huh?
You have no faith in trouble?
I got 0 in anything that got a Panther on the side of their helmet. It was one thing to say, well, they need time. No, I've come to realize, what have they been doing? Where are the players?
My thing with the Bryce Young deal is it's bad. So benching him for performance is terrible. Like you said, that he has nothing. But from a Bryce Young perspective, which how bad that team is, actually it might add some years to his career because he's gonna get hurt back there. And like you said, with the Williams situation in Chicago, something is gonna back there. That team is awful and all. They can't block, they can't get to anybody. And Bryce Young was probably 2 weeks away from a couple of hits anyway, and going down because they're just that bad.
Well, here's the thing with Bryce. If I'm him, quietly, you ain't got to broadcast it to everybody, but quietly get me to Miami as quickly as possible because he could thrive in Miami's offense. Okay. I don't think he's that bad because we've seen him the years that he was at Alabama. Okay. The boy actually can play, but he had better players with Alabama than he has with the Panthers. That says everything you need to know right there. Okay. That's how bad. The only reason nobody really has, because they the Panthers. If this was a bigger team, everybody would be looking at the glaring mismanagement of this roster. This roster is terrible.
And you know what you said is flipped because the Giants are the bigger market. Everything is how bad they are run. And that's shielding the Panthers from all of the criticism because New York is what folks are going to be interested in. But see, that's like bad, just mismanaged, like you said, the bad run Panthers just float under the radar. As long as the Giants are terrible, the Panthers can just kind of float and do what they're doing.
And that's going to be the problem the rest of the year because they're going 0-17. You're not gonna tell me this team is going to look better with Andy Dalton playing this week than they did with Bryce Young because there's nobody for him to throw the football to.
No.
Nobody.
That only win might be if, at the end of the season, teams get injured, folks trying to go to playoffs.
Well, I think they last game against Tampa Bay.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. No, it's Falcons.
It's the Falcons. Okay.
Yeah.
They might be fighting to get in the playoffs. They
exactly.
That's the thing. It is beyond. I was alive when the original creamsicle Tampa Bay Buccaneers were playing. They had Hall of Famers on that team. Okay. They had Hall of Famers. Leroy Selman was playing on that 0-2016. They had Hall of Fame. The Panthers have nothing that looks like a Hall of Famer, y'all. It is that bad. It is so bad that Cam could come and play right now and make a significant difference. That is how bad it is for the Panthers right now, y'all. It is. I know y'all, Dave, you on the West Coast, Coop, you in GA. I know everything is the Bulldogs and the Falcons and everything out there, Seattle, the Huskies and whatever. I'm here in the middle of this here, and I'm telling you right now, we are dreading what is going to happen to the Panthers. You could give me Panther tickets right now. Honestly, I got to see who they playing before I say I want to go up there because you can't just give me anybody.
Oh, every time I see it, it's a home game for the other team. and don't let it be
Pretty
like
much.
It's a home game.
That is a home game for both of them.
But honestly, if you gave me tickets to like them and the Commanders right now, I don't want to see that.
No.
I don't want to see that. And this is the thing. And guess what? They got to go the first week of October. They got to go over to Germany and play the Giants. Who thought that was a good idea? Who thought that was a good idea?
That might be their one win.
Kelsey, if the Giants lose that football game, everybody on the Giants need to be fired if they lose that football.
You heard it on 44 Stack first. Carolina will beat the Giants.
I'm almost with you on that, Kels, because the Giants are just so, because they could get all that prep. Like they had these, like I was reading one of the Yankees players, I forget who it was, second baseman, didn't even want to come out the house. He had an apartment. Mm-hmm. It gets bad on them when it gets bad in New York because they go at you hard.
Bruh, if the Giants go, if they lose to the Panthers,
they will.
They're gonna burn everything down in New York. I'm telling you now, because there is absolutely no excuse for the Giants to go and lose that game. The Giants got Pro Bowl players, Kelsey.
It's a trap game, though.
It might be a trap. Trap from who?
The Giants gonna figure, okay, if we don't win nothing, we got this game. And Carolina's gonna be like, you know what? We ain't got nothing to lose. Let's just do what we do.
And on the real, man, 2 Daniel Jones turnovers could just win you the game. And Daniel Jones will give you 2 good turnovers. You just wait for it. And that'll put you on at least the 30. Now, I'm not, to me, that's a game, what they be calling that, a race to the bottom. I don't like to talk about races to the bottom, but hey, if you get 2 good defensive and can flip the field twice, you might win that game. And that game is a punt, flip the field type of game right there.
Okay, so all right.
You said it.
To the bottom, though.
All right,
Kelsey, but hey, it's a race to the bottom.
Tie this show up. So let's tie it up with this here. Okay, it is clearly expected that the Panthers will have the number 1 pick. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
That is the expectation. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you pick?
Viewers.
Yeah.
You would spend your first pick on Quinn Ewers.
Yes. You have to now. Once you bench Bryce Young, you got to show the face that you know you can't, just like Chicago, you can't bench a first-round quarterback and not go get a quarterback in the first round the next year. It's just the way it always works.
Well, here's the thing for the
Unless you got a statement. Unless
there's a person at the top that is just so far out there good. But if you have benched your quarterback and it's over in Carolina for Bryce Young pretty much.
Yeah.
They're going to have to take you.
I agree with that. But here's the thing. You have so many needs. You have so many needs. Do you pick a quarterback?
If it was
address the line first.
My bad, Kelsey. I didn't mean to cut you off. If it was yesteryear's NFL, you would have done your line before you knew your quarterback. In today's NFL, it's all about the quarterback. They always now, if a team is in need, go first, unless it's somebody like the Patriots or something.
Bruh.
But the Panthers are going to go all in for a quarterback. Man.
I'm winning right now. I gotta rent a quarterback. I'm winning.
Yeah, but see, that's different. Y'all will run differently. But really, the rest of the league, it's the quarterback, and they're gonna, if they bench him and it's over, they're gonna have to get another quarterback, man. Yesteryear, you would have got your line first right, but it goes back to the thing that I still hate. Rookie quarterbacks starting their first year instead of learning the game. Even if you don't come in until even if you come in game 8, I'm better than that coming in game 0.
But the only thing about that is with Carolina, you needed something right then. So I mean, you had to start them because they were just that bad. I mean, from the inception. So I don't like Antonio said.
That's the thing, Kelsey. Then that means Lewis is definitely the pick then.
Well, the problem with the Panthers is we already know the owner is meddling. Okay, and I hate to say this, but he's probably worse than Jerry. Okay,
so he's trying to tank it so they can get out of there.
No,
but they didn't
sign the lease. They're gonna be there for the next 20 years, so they ain't going nowhere. The problem with them
they got to make it make sense there.
The problem with them is, and this was the word that came out of Charlotte, was Frank Reich wanted to pick CJ Stroud. That was who he wanted. The owner overruled him and said, take Bryce Young. Now, you know where that comes from because, you know, one of the things Carolina has always done, they give preference to SEC players. But you got to, I don't care where a person plays. If you got a plan, and this just me, maybe I'm crazy, I don't know. But if you got a plan about how you want your team to run and how you want your team to act, you pick the players that fit your system, not, you know.
Don't plug and try to buy something, yeah.
Look here,
gotcha.
Bruh, Kelsey, I'm gonna be honest. I'm bigger than Bryce Young. I'm taller than Bryce Young. I weigh more than Bryce Young.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm 6 foot tall.
You think he would do much better than what Bryce Young is doing right now with what he has? Because CJ got some weapons. Bryce ain't got nothing.
Here's the thing. CJ got a coach. CJ got an offense. Yep. Okay. They've taken advantage of all the draft picks that Cleveland gave them for get Deshaun. They turned their whole franchise around. Okay. They did the smart thing. They got a good young coach that coaches defense. You know what I'm saying? He picked a lot of good players on defense. He already had some semblance of offense somewhere through there. Okay. Bryce had absolutely nothing. And
so that kind of reminds me of what's my man name from Washington that had 7 different offensive coordinators his first 7 years. But at least he had a semblance of a defense though. What's is Campbell? What's his
Jason Campbell?
Jason Campbell, yeah.
Yeah. Man, on a name out the hat that I ain't heard in a while.
Nah, but wait a minute now.
He had a defense.
Well, he hung around because, you know, Jason Campbell didn't make a lot of mistakes, you know. But see, Bryce can't help but make mistakes. When your best wide receiver is Adam Thielen.
Yep.
Who is a shell of
Adam Thielen. You know what I mean? Because there's a reason they got rid of him in Minnesota, okay? So it's not like he was still, you know, route running Cooper Kupp type Adam Thielen. No, that he's on the downside of his career, okay? They don't have any, like I said, when was the last time they picked a wide receiver that was about anything? You can't even get the ball. You can't even get the ball to Leggett now because
it's only one wide receiver. Terrible. Chicago, right? Ain't that DJ Moore? DJ Moore's in Chicago.
You said your best in Chicago.
Yeah, that's the only. Yeah, that's the only wide receiver that actually kind of stood out and post Steve Smith. And what was the other dude? Kelvin Benjamin. Was that?
Yeah, Kelvin Benjamin, but he never amounted to anything. But here's the thing.
One good
Since Tepper's taken over, look at who he shipped away. Okay, he sent away DJ Moore, sent away McCaffrey. Okay, he sent away the safety. He played with us now, Jackson.
Well, he probably saved McCaffrey's career.
I actually agree with McCaffrey throwing. I agree with
but this is the thing. What did you get for it though?
Nothing.
Okay, if you're gonna make a trade, get something for it.
But I think at the time, Tony, you know how it takes two to tango. I think Christian McCaffrey at that time, really, remember now, we're going back to where he got injured a lot. So when the league is like, maybe he's damaged goods. Now, look at how he's starting out right now. I think we see Christian McCaffrey that year in San Francisco post Charlotte, but really McCaffrey is this. You get this and then you get hurt 4 to 5 games. A lot. Now, he does a lot, but last year was an anomaly more than it is a pattern.
Well, but I'll say this here. McCaffrey might get hurt, but at the same time, the thing was he was getting hurt because he was doing everything because that's all they had.
Yeah, but I'm saying because injury is still an injury to the rest of the teams. And I don't think the rest of the teams, they saw him at that point as he was old and damaged goods. Now, he not, as we know, he redeemed himself, but let's think about it. The pattern we see this year is generally a McCaffrey pattern. He gets hurt, and you just don't know when he's available and when he's going to come back. And that's
same with Debo.
That's how the league was perceiving him at that time. So you can say that, but I don't know if you were going to get much better at that time with McCaffrey.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if you were either, but it's just a point of this is where we are. This is what we have to deal with. If the Panthers are not going to make better draft picks, because I'm sitting here looking at their roster right now, and I see one or two names. This is his wide receiver, Jonathan Mingo, played at LSU. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Chuba Hubbard is his running back. You got a washed up Jadavion Clowney playing defense for you. Clowney ain't never lived up to the expectation or the hype.
No.
You got Deontay Johnson, which the Steelers gave up because of the fact he can't catch a cold, which was a smart move on my part. Didn't bother me one bit when they let him go. You got Thielen that, again, he can't, he a possession receiver. That's not going to spread the field. The best player the Panthers have is J.C. Horn on defense. And it really don't do you no good if you got a cover corner when you can't get no pressure on the passer. So that don't matter either. Shaq Thompson, I thought he was going to take over big time in the middle for Kuechly. Didn't happen. Frankie Louvu didn't happen. This looks bad, y'all, and it's going to continue to look bad. Right now, they couldn't beat the Gamecocks.
Yeah.
I'm just being real, and I'm not slighting. That's not my normal Gamecock hate that I'm bringing out. I'm just coming for real. They don't have the players. There are probably teams in the USFL or the XFL that are better equipped than they are right now.
Yeah.
They have hit that bottom, but the good thing I always say about being a fan, when your team gets to that level and then they do come out of it, it's a glorious day. So that's what they got to look forward to. If that ever happens, they come out of it and they just, they just got to stick. Because it gets bad, man. And it's bad now. But you know what? The way the NFL, Detroit was this for whatever. It just takes that one flip of something to get you a little run going, and hopefully that happens to the Panthers in a couple of years. If not, it's going to be a long time.
I understand Detroit had this like this, but even Detroit had stars, man. Even when they was losing.
Yeah.
They had Megatron. You know what I'm saying?
Ed Barry. Yeah.
Yeah, Barry. These cats ain't got nothing, Bo. I would rather see a Jake Delhomme revival in Carolina right now.
With Bojangles.
With Bojangles, Bo. Delhomme.
Hey, on the real, I know we're wrapping up. The last thing I gotta say, you know who impresses the dog crap out of me? I don't care what team he's on, he becomes serviceable. Gardner Minshew. I don't know what it is about this cat, but because I know about him because he did Washington State one year, right? The dude was a 7th-year senior by the time he got to Washington State. Bruh. But somehow, when you put him in he's going to win you 3 games or so. And I don't even know how the hell he even got. If you see him in person, he's like Bryce Young. You don't even know how he got to the damn NFL, but he is so serviceable.
He is him. I give you a nod. He ain't playing no more, but I give you another one. Him and Ryan Fitzpatrick. Wasn't the greatest anything, but them rascals was gonna get you in contention. They might not make the playoffs, but you was gonna be in contention. You had a chance. That's all you want, man. If you're a fan, all you want to do is have a chance. And right now, the Raiders have a chance. You already know.
The last time the Bucs did anything before this little thing right here, it was Fitzmagic as the quarterback in that 10-6 thing. They did. That was a messed up season. They didn't make the playoffs. They fired Raheem, and now Raheem is doing this thing. But man, Gardner Minshew just shot. He is just serviceable. You can put him there, and he ain't gonna lose. He ain't gonna win you a game, but he ain't gonna lose you a game either.
Great game manager.
Yeah.
He is the poster child for game manager. Gardner Minshew. He is the poster child for game manager. Nobody else can come to that because you already know. All right. He gonna get me at least the 9-10 wins, regardless. 9-10 wins, I'm good. If we make the playoffs, fine. If we don't make the playoffs, we still in a good spot. I would never let he's that type player. You don't never let him go.
No.
You know,
Charlie Batch.
Yep.
Kelsey, you just said it. Charlie Batch kept me good for years when the early years of Ben. Kept me good because Ben would get hurt. I need Charlie, come on in. You need to spell me for a little bit.
He did it.
Bro, ever since we lost him, we ain't been able to survive like that.
Tyrod to get you 7-8 wins. 7 to 9 wins. Tyrod Taylor's also really good to have.
Tyrod need to be starting somewhere, honestly.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know, man. He
needs to be starting somewhere.
Excuse my language. They shitted on him.
But I'm gonna say this for real. What's just signed?
And it's just
the Dolphins just signed Ty Huntley.
Yeah.
If he gets chance to play, the Dolphins will be okay.
Yeah. Based on what we've seen, yeah.
He's another one. Just let him play because he's taking the Ravens to the playoffs when Lamar, but at the same time, all they need is somebody serviceable, man. You got too much talent on that side of the field for you not to be winning games, man.
Mm-hmm.
And you do a disservice when you don't get a good backup, and that's a hard thing to find, a good backup. You can get a backup,
but a good one. You're right.
All right, fellas. Well, we're gonna call this one quits. And great show as always. Hopefully, the NFL gives us some good games to talk about next week.
No more gridiron grievance, I tell you. Yeah.
See who last. We got some good matchups this week because see who's gonna go to 3-0, or who gonna go to 2-1. So
or 1-2.
Or 1-2.
You got a bunch of those.
Don't go to 1-2. Kelsey, don't go to 1-2.
Because if y'all do that in the NFC,
because y'all go to Ravens. I mean, but you know what?
Philly ain't gonna run away with it though. So if they go to 1-2,
Philly ain't gonna run away with it. And the Eagles play the Saints this week, so that.
Yeah,
that's gonna tell a lot.
We better beat the dog. I just beat the Broncos because the NFL win is a win. I don't care about point spread. Just win. They just need to beat the Broncos, be 3-0, and get ready for the next week. That's it.
That's it. It ain't got to be sexy. It just got to be.
That's it.
Because I'm gonna tell you, it's a pretty stout games this week because you got Patriots Jets Thursday night, you got Chargers Steelers Sunday, Texans Vikings, Eagles Saints, Broncos Bucks. Packers, Titans, Giants, Browns, Bears, Colts, Panthers, Raiders, Dolphins, Seahawks, Ravens, Cowboys, Lions, Cardinals, 49ers, Rams, Chiefs, Falcons. And then you got two games Monday night. You got Jaguars and the Bills and Commanders and the Bengals.
Yeah, that's a good lineup.
All right, this is Missouri weekend here. Show me, baby. Show me what you got.
That's it. Yeah, last week I looked at on Pigskin Pick'em. Everybody was off. That was a rough week.
Look at Pigskin Pick'em. Everybody took a hit because it started Thursday night because ain't nobody thought the Buffalo was gonna beat Miami.
No.
But I should have known better.
Yeah.
All right. Well, y'all be good. Right. Coop, enjoy the rest of your birthday, man.
Oh yeah, happy birthday, man. Do it up, dog.
I appreciate you. Will do.
I'm gonna go down here and get a little sip something for you,
Yeah,
appreciate you, man.
I know. Hey, you know how we do.
I don't sip, but I'm gonna be out there doing something for you here as soon as we get off of that there. So yes.
That'll work too. There you go.
All right, y'all be good.
All right, man.
Yep.